Interesting. looks stunning. Just go to Wix.com. The best part is you can update it and keep it fresh whenever you want. I like changing up the background. It instantly gives my site a whole I constantly add new photos. Here are some of my latest, which I love. I always wanted to start my own blog. This would be the perfect place. I've got the same project going on, so I'll add new sections here, and I'll put in all the photos. I'm breaking the harness a little bit.
When you think of Christmas stories, quite a few come to mind. The Grinch, Charlie Brown, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, and Frosty the Snowman, to name a few. They're timeless and loved by millions across the world. But there's one story that has been around for over 2 centuries now, and it goes by the name of the Nutcracker and the Mouse King. Most people are familiar with the ballet version of the story and the music that goes with it. To say it's a classic would be an understatement. And since the Nutcracker falls into public domain, that means that anybody can use its composition. Because of that, we see many versions of the story that range from live-action fantasy to the freaking Care Bears.
This magical journey also includes music from the classic Nutcracker suite.
But there's an iteration of this classic tale that is pure chaos, and I truly mean that. I present to you all the nuttiest Nutcracker.
My Nutcracker!
You might as well call this Identity Crisis the movie. If I showed you this clip from the film, would you have guessed that it had anything to do with the original story? Yeah, I didn't think so. And funny enough, this film is like the complete opposite of last week's review. Now, don't get me wrong. Both of these movies are terrible. But while The Christmas Tree had horrible voice acting and a slow story, The Nuttiest Nutcracker has amazing voice talent. But a story that goes flying off the rails. Like, you can't even blink, or you'll be completely lost. Alright, so who's behind the movie? I did some research, and the studio who made this movie was Dan Kretsch Productions. The person in charge of everything was, you guessed it, Dan Kretsch. He established the animation studio in Canada back in 1985 and found semi-success with it. But he eventually sold the company off and is no longer involved with it. I looked into the catalog of films the studio worked on, and it includes Joseph, King of Dreams, Everyone's Hero, and a few seasons of VeggieTales. I was actually wondering if they had anything to do with VeggieTales, because some of the characters from this movie look like they're straight out of that universe. The movie itself came out in 1999 and sported computer animation, which was a hot new thing to do thanks to Toy Story. The writers for this movie are Cindy McKay and Diana Eskenazi. That is a unfortunate last name. She's actually the person who came up with this movie. Both of these writers have been involved in many shows over the years. And no. God, no! 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 That was close. Something that really bothers me about this movie, though, is the budget. I don't know if this number is 100% accurate, but if it is, thank good Lord. Somebody was ripped off. Like I said before, the voice talent for this movie is pretty damn good. You got Cheech Marin, Phyllis Diller, Gabby Derryberry, Jim Cummings, and many others. That being said, $84,000 is barely enough to cover for the voice talent, let alone all of the artists who worked on this movie, and there are quite a few of them. Maybe this movie was a flop, which I'm pretty sure is the case, and Columbia TriStar wrote it off in their taxes or something. I don't know, but I do know that this movie is one of the worst versions of the Nutcracker I've ever seen, and it's an abomination compared to the original.
It's an abomination!
music from the Nutcracker, and then this disgusting sugar plum floats onto the screen. We're not even a minute into the film, and we already got a nut pun.
Yeah, you probably figured it's the same old, but this one's got a nutty little twist.
We swerve our way through a snowy city and zoom in on one of our main characters, Barbie. I'm sorry, Marie.
They leave me alone on Christmas Eve.
Marie's uncle, shows up and tells the kids that their parents are running late for Christmas.
What an awful Christmas this is going to be.
Don't close your heart to Christmas, child. Why, it's the most wonderful time of the year.
He's voiced by Jim Cummings, who is the voice of Pete. So that's all I can really hear.
Way I see it, it's my last night of babysitting, and I'm a free man. Oh, yeah! Yahoo!
Something that bothers me about this story is how Marie gets angry at her parents for being late, even though it's completely out of their control. Like, they're stuck in the snow. They can't help it. Then she blames it all on Christmas and throws a hissy fit.
What's the big deal about Christmas anyway? I just wish it would go away forever.
We then get whacked upside the head with one of the most ridiculous parts of the movie, and that is the nuts.
Nuts. Move over, would you? My foot's stuck.
Get a girl some elbow room, will you?
I don't even know where to begin. We got old Confederate soldier Peanut, old man Nutsack, Rastafarian Nut, Nut Boy, whose eyes roll back into his head. Ew. And then there's Discount Nathan Lane Nut.
It's academic, my macadamia friend. The girl is a human, and you are plain nuts.
Oh, and of course the girl character gets a sensual body, because she's a female. It's like the Emoji Movie all over again.
With nuts!
So we get some background story of the Nutcracker Prince, and just strap yourself in.
You see, the Nutcracker Prince was in love with Princess Perlipat, the most beautiful girl in the kingdom.
Yeah, but the old mouse queen, she was a real shrew, and she was awful jealous of the princess.
One day, when the prince was away, the mouse queen gave the girl a terrible bite.
And turned her into the all-time absolute ugliest thing that ever walked. Well, there was but one way to break the dreadful spell. By breaking the hardest nut on the planet. Many tried and many failed. Except the Nutcracker Prince, who broke both the nut and the stud.
And the princess was once again...
There is so much to take in here. First off, why would a bunch of nuts have a nutcracker as their leader? It's kind of terrifying. It's like a bunch of chickens having a fox as their king. Next, the origin of the prince. Are you telling me that he had to bust the biggest nut to save the princess? I'm gonna try it again. I can do it. Are you telling me that he had to bust the biggest nut to save the princess? Can't say it straight. Are you telling me he had to bust the biggest nut to save the princess? Because that's great. Finally, the sexual undertones of this movie. They need to chill out.
A terrible loss for women everywhere.
Alright, so we're back to Marie and her brother, who's being a little shit.
Get him back! Stop! You'll hurt him! Oh boy.
Okay, so a little bit of a PSA. Don't ever climb up a ladder if someone is already on it, especially if there's nobody supporting it. You might get hurt. So Marie puts her toy boy into a cupboard. We are then introduced to the villain of the movie, who is voiced by Jim Belushi, Reginald the Mouse King, and is one of the jiggliest characters I've ever seen. His stomach is like an anime breast.
And my cheese mines.
One of the silver linings of this movie is the music. It's the Nutcracker, so of course it's going to be awesome. You got an incredible library of existing stuff to pick from. You would have to be a complete idiot to screw this up. Okay, so this song isn't the worst, But why would you even bother? Again, you have amazing stuff already. But whatever. Also, this song goes on for far too long. There's even a part where you think it's going to end, but it starts right up all over again.
The big cheese. I live my life with the big flair.
So the Mouse King marches into battle against toy soldiers who just come out of nowhere. And then a scene happens that gives me flashbacks to Sausage Party and Food Fight.
Food fight!
Hoffman is rolling in his grave. All of this chaos is going on. Puns, random characters coming out of nowhere, freaking fart jokes. Okay, that was pretty good.
Now Christmas will be kaputski done over finito finish. Fini!
Wait, this can't be happening.
She's remarkably calm for being surrounded by talking mice and food. Oh, and Grandpa Nut just gives up on life.
You're young. I'm old. I've lived a full life. Why, you should be ashamed of yourselves, chasing a bunch of poor unarmed nuts.
Also, look at the Peanut's face freak out while being carried away.
Come on, little Pete. We gotta get out of here.
But don't worry. The Nut Prince awakes from his slumber and is rocking a beautiful anime face.
Don't give up hope, my friends.
My nutcracker!
Oh no, he's hot!
Also, why doesn't he look like the toy that was put into the cupboard? Like, they're very different. Oh, and by the way, this guy is voiced by Cam Clark, the same dude who voiced Leonardo, and, get this, Eddie the Eagle.
Stop! Don't touch! I'm Eddie Eagle, and I like it too much to see you get hurt, and that's why I say, if you spot a gun, just walk away!
I guess we're going full circle here.
Cat got your tongue?
You dare use that tone to me, Reginald? Mouse King, soldier, sailor, lover! Time to say goodbye, nut boy.
Nut boy.
You're mad!
Mad with passion.
Oh, okay, so I guess the Mouse King is kind of rapey. Got it. And what the hell is even going on? This really went from Sausage Party to VeggieTales to anime to sexual harassment in like 2 minutes. So we find out that the Christmas star is magical, and whoever has it controls the kingdom.
The final piece to ruling the entire Christmas kingdom forever. Through it. Right here. Come on, baby.
The star then transforms Marie into a smaller Marie and finishes her Barbie transition.
Princess, I can hardly believe it's you.
Listen, would you mind pinching that? I need to wake up now. Ouch! Hey, that hurt! Cut it out!
Why are you angry? You asked him to pinch you. Oh, hey, can you pinch me? Ah! Why'd you do that? So Marie somehow broke the spell, and everybody is cheering for her. Even Marie can't believe the script of this movie.
You know, they're nuts. Handsome prince has returned to Earth.
So what I'm seeing here is a nut rubbing up against some nuts.
No Christmas, why it wouldn't be Christmas without it.
We gotta have Christmas.
Oh, wait, what's Christmas Eve?
We can't not have Christmas.
Oh my god, these characters are ridiculous.
We can't not have Christmas.
So we're told that the star needs to be put back on the Christmas tree, or Christmas won't happen for anybody. So what do? They sing a gospel song.
Raise up your hands and say, and you will feel the most miraculous thing.
I feel like I'm back at Gaither's Pond all over again. Ah, yes, a Southern gospel song by a bunch of anther nuts, vegetables, and the anime prince. Just like the original Nutcracker. So instead of putting the star back on the tree, which is literally right over there, they decide to teleport to another world instead. I really don't understand why, but whatever.
It's a little bit to see the world in a wondrous way.
Isn't this just great? Some of the characters are just stuck in place. I guess you can call them frozen vegetables. I'm sorry. It's so strange Christian song in this religious or something. So we arrive at the king's palace, where there's a river of what appears to be fecal matter.
Where is she? Well, there is word, sir, that she heads to the Christmas kingdom in the company of the prince. She's with Nut Boy.
You're going the wrong way. No, you are. This way.
It's this way.
What's wrong? He said that way.
There are way too many characters. I thought we were pushing it already with all of the nuts, but this is ridiculous.
This way.
Oh, okay.
I love this shot of Marie. She looks like someone's got a gun to her back, and she's told she can't scream or they'll shoot.
Smile and wave, boys. Smile and wave.
Prepare my men for the final conquest.
Oh, okay. I guess the king has flying cheese scooters. Why not?
I don't see anything.
Try again. Only this time, look with your heart.
Kato wins.
Yes.
Pretty as a peanut. Cute as a cabbage. Beautiful as broccoli.
Good looking, too. It's so positively radiant.
Can you all just chill out? God, bunch of thirsty creeps, aren't you?